Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and I'm here to do my A to Z of Queer Lit Part 6. Yes, we are getting up there. Also, I don't know how to use a flag, apparently. Oh dear. I also really wanted to wear my rainbow suspenders for this video, but I could not find them. I am wearing a rainbow belt, but I'm not about to get up to show you. And I do also have my rainbow library socks, just because I like them. It's hard because I wanted to show these things off, but I'm not just gonna like pan down the video. I can't do that from here. I'm just a person with a camera on a tripod. If you haven't seen one of these videos before, the purpose of this video is to recommend 26 queer books using the letters of the alphabet. So the letter from the alphabet either needs to be in the title or in the author's name. Because I am going to mention 26 books, I'm not going to be talking too much about them. In most cases, I will actually just be saying the title of the book, maybe a couple of words, and probably also the author because I want to make it clear exactly where I'm getting the letter from. These are all books that I've read since about October to now. I've read other books that just haven't made it onto this list, so they'll go on to the next one. And I'm gonna scooch myself over just to make sure there's lots of room to put up the covers. Although funnily enough, the first one on my list is on this shelf, which never happens. A is for Tell Me How You Really Feel by Mina Ray Safi. This is a female-female romance, as you can probably guess from this cover. Now I'm concerned that I'm too far over, so I'm gonna scooch slightly back. I don't have a viewfinder, guys, so it's fine. B is for Brave Face by Sean David Hutchinson. This is a memoir. C is for Come Close by Sappho. This is a collection of Sappho's poems. I actually have this adorable edition of it that I got from my friend Jean and really enjoyed. Because of crazy random happenstance, I ended up reading this out loud to myself in a bathtub in Denver in a hotel room. D is for The Deep by Rivers Solomon. You might know this name from An Unkindness of Ghosts. This book features a non-binary character. E is for a really long book title that I'm gonna read off my screen because I have to. E is for The 57 Bus, a true story of two teenagers and the crime that changed their lives by Daska Slater. This book is about two teenagers that happen to be on the same bus. One of them is non-binary and was falling asleep on the bus, and the other had a hard upbringing and was playing around with a lighter and ended up setting the first on fire. This was a non-fiction book and it was absolutely fascinating. F is for Final Draft by Riley Redgate. If you're a person who likes books about writers, this is a book for you. It is also a mental health read. G is for Stage Dreams by Melanie Gilman. This is a graphic novel that takes place in the Old West and has to do with a trans character. H is for Heart and Soul by Erin Kinsella. This is the beginning of what I believe is going to be a trilogy. I kind of want it to be a longer series because I really enjoyed this book. It was my favorite book I read in February. And this book is about a mixed-race Canadian girl who writes a book that ends up being a period drama in Korea, and she goes to visit the set and realizes that her bias from her favorite K-pop group is going to be the main character in the adaptation. I is for Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. I went through such a period recently of just reading mermaid and sirens books, so it was really just a bonus that a lot of them ended up being queer. J is for Grasshopper Jungle by Andrew Smith. This one is super weird, and I first heard about this one when I was doing a video with Brody and Adriana, and all I remember Brody saying is it's queer and it's weird and there's giant grasshoppers, and I went, sure, I'll read that. K is for Run by Cody Keplinger. This is told in two perspectives. One of the characters is blind and the other character is from the wrong side of the tracks. They are friends. They end up going on this impromptu road trip together, and one of their perspectives is from the past and one of the perspectives is current, and eventually they meet up. L is for The Rules Do Not Apply by Ariel Levy. This is a memoir. At one moment she had a wife and she had a house and she had a baby, and the next moment she had none of those things, so this one is definitely hard-hitting. M is for The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. This one has three main characters. They're all incredibly diverse, and there's obviously some great queer content here. N is for Naturally Tan by Tan France, and this is Tan France's autobiography. O is for Abid by Saladin Ahmed. This is a graphic novel about this journalist in the 70s in Detroit. There's some supernatural elements, and then of course she's got a girlfriend on the side. P is for Orpheus Girls by Bryn Rebel Henry. This is an Orpheus and Eurydice retelling, except for it has to do with two queer girls as well as conversion therapy. Q is for The Queen of Aflaria by Effie Calvin, and this is also another book that was kindly sent to me by Jean. There are also three other books in this series, and now I need them. This is a fantasy series in which it's not uncommon for people to like all genders, and it wouldn't be uncommon for a queen to marry another queen. R is for Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. This is about a princess falling in love with another girl. Need I say more? S is for The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. This is a Twelfth Night retelling. T is for Caroline's Heart by Austen Chant. This is a novella. It takes place in the Old West, 1875, and follows Roy, who's a transgendered man, as well as a witch that he finds quite bewitching. U is for Birthday by Meredith Russo. This follows two people who happen to have the same birthday and are friends because of that throughout their teenage years, as one of them tries to come out as trans and every year doesn't quite get there. V is for The Avant-Gardes by Carly Usdid. This is a queer basketball graphic novel, and I love me some queer sports graphic novels, and it's so great that there's a female one because usually it's dudes. And I love those, but it's really nice to have other genders included. W is for Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. I didn't plan this, but this one is also right here on my shelf. This one is interesting because there are 5 cousins who are all in love with the same girl, and there is a curse on the family where the men that they've loved have traditionally disappeared. X is for Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a heist story. It is about 6 people. A couple of them are queer boys that were freaking adorable. Y is for The Ninth Life by Taylor B. Barton. This is about a cat who is on his 8th life, and as he dies, he's given the option to come back as something other than a cat and comes back as a teenage boy. Z is for Like a Love Story by Abdi Nazmian. This is a historical fiction set in the 80s between these 3 people, and it was just so heartbreaking. It's set during the AIDS epidemic in the United States, and it just made me have all of the feels. So there we have it, 26 more recommendations to put on your TBR if you haven't read them already. What queer books do you want to see me read in the future? Let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment today, but you want to let me know that you are here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face if you're on a keyboard. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!